Okay, fine, guys. So, why am I starting on this page? Because this person is known to hire. So, yesterday, or what, 2 days ago now, Ubisoft released its earning reports. And when you read the earning report, it speaks to how well Ubisoft is doing. But this person make lie after lie after lie after lie. I don't even know if if the gaming system is gonna do well, but lie after lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. Look how many lies this is doing, right? So yesterday they came out with this video saying Ubisoft nearly default journalists spend insane store. They, as you can see, it says damage control. Now, why are they doing this? Because they are lying about what. So, Ubisoft releases earning report from 2004 to 2005, basically the year over year, and they release their earning report from 2005 to the year over year report, and they just released a first half report of the year. Mind you, remember this is first half report is not from January to December. The way they do it is different. So when we look at Ubisoft first half report, we look at like okay, they are losing jobs. Why are they losing jobs? Because they're trying to cut down costs. When you look at overall numbers, though, Ubisoft is up 39%, but it's roughly 40% in earnings. In earnings, how do we know? Again, sometimes you have to read through all of this. Sometimes it's just at the bottom. Sometimes you just have to the read stuff. Don't just you know. Well, somebody said that Ubisoft is trying to cover up. No, they're not. Have to read the earnings report. Here's Ubisoft earnings report. Ubisoft earnings report first half 2025 to 20 the earning figure. This is the number they just released. Ubisoft Entertainment. When we look at this, we can see how they do it. Yes, their numbers is different. So when you look at this, it's up 20%. You look at the non-operating costs, you see this. When you see parentheses and stuff, I mean this is down. So they cut their earning. It went up 40%, nearly 40%. As I said, outperforming drives stronger than expected partnership and others, and with support of a responsible economy. You look at how what happened. They have a 39% year on year increase, outperforming. Again, look at the data. You look at it at net booking, it went up 20.3%. Non-funded operating income, those see is going up 30%. So overall, their total has went up nearly 40%. Net booking went up 20.3% year on year, which means basically at this time last year, they gained 20%. The same thing for here. Anytime year on year, or year over year, year by year. That's me. At the same time last year, this is the difference now. So 39% increase. But you listen to people like this is like they're doing damage control. How are you going bankrupt when you made your income went up 40%? How? This is not damage control. You just read the figures. This person is not even remotely. Just read the figures. Just read the numbers. Look at the data. You will see that Ubisoft literally went up 40%. Their net booking income went up 20%. So overall, 40% gross. Their net booking. Wait, no. I always get this. Net and gross. I always get those two mixed up. It's and when you look at the data, see what is happening. So their gross amount of income went up nearly 40%. Their net income, which means everything after operating costs, still went up 20%. So they're making out more than they are spending by 20%. But their overall, what they made over the past year went up near 40%. So they are making more than they will spend the previous. It's basically what they spent was about half of what they made. The difference, between here and here, it's about half. So that means they added 40% of their total income from last year. But of the what their opposite 40%, it went up nearly 40%. And what they actually spent, the difference between what they spent before and now, even with all of that, they still made over 20% of what they made. So they have a net increase of 20%, 20.3% to be exact. But they have a total increase of nearly 40% or 30 or 39.3%. So again, that's a 19% difference between the two. But you listen to people like this who said they're doing damage control. How are you doing damage control when you can just read the numbers? Look, that booking up 23. It says it here. Additional booking. See the difference and everything. They cut costs, sales and everything. It's increased down by 2.1%. But their income went up by 20.3%. Digital booking. Digital net booking went up. This is 30%. ITIR booking went up 50%. Backlog booking, which means backlog booking is all their older games and stuff that's being bought, went up as well. And see the difference. This is last year to this year. This is this year. This is this year numbers. See how it increase. See an increase on everything except these and fully calculate. But well, you don't need these two to be calculated because this is actually just what they are here. So and they not applicable because this is the difference between these 2 years here to here to here. It's going backwards. And when you just look at the simple data, you would not fall for stupid people like, especially her. Her and him, they're both saying the exact same thing, and none of it is correct. Ghost of Yote sold 3.3 million copies in 1 month. Ghost of Tsushima sold 5 million in 4 months. 3.3 million is roughly is over 60% of what it did. So one game sold 60% of the other game in a quarter of the time. But to them, one game flopped, but the other game succeeds for selling less overall in the same in more time. So if one game sells 60, if I sell 60% of what you sell in a quarter of the time, do that mean you still sold more than me? You sold 5 million. It took you 4 months. I sold 3.3 million and it took me a month. Who sold more? Because in those 4 months, you sold 5 million in 4 months. Great. I sold 3.3 million in a month. By the time I get to 3 months, I could have sold 5 million. But to you, you would say, well, I sold more than you at first. Because if you sold more than me 5 years ago, and then I came back and then sold 60% of what you did in 1 year, I mean, I sold more than you. But that's not how it worked for them. Because to them, the game flopped. Like he's saying, it said Ghost of Yote flop at the war. It won console game of the year. That's not a flop. It also won best soundtrack. Like, do you understand how stupid you sound? But when you here, let me look. I already you can see it. Don't want any. Like, you can see how stupid people are. Like at over a failure company. I'm sorry. The company made 40% more, 20% net more. How is the company failing? The company made look. I'm really hoping Ubisoft go bankrupt and lose the whole company. They made 40% net, gross more, and 20% net more. How is the company failing? Please explain that. It didn't flop. The data show it didn't flop. So how are you flop? Do you know why they didn't say all of this? Because they didn't read the data, and they did it as well. No, they didn't because they they don't read what is actually said. Because I'm literally looking at here is what the booking. Here's all the Ubisoft earning first half. Look at what it said. It says 20% year on year. I mean, up 20% from last year. Nearly 40% overall from last year. I don't get it. The data is showing that Ubisoft is making more money this year than they did last year. But yet, I read people comments and stuff, and they're saying they're hoping Ubisoft flop. I it's like the math is in math in their head because they don't do any research. People just take what evil people like this say and don't look into it. Because when I hear something, I'm like, wait, let me look into what it's actually said. And when I do, I look at the earning reports and it's like, how is this going bankrupt and stuff? It doesn't add up. Like, how can you say stuff like this? How do people say stuff like this? Then when you look at the earning report, it doesn't fit what they're saying because they're. This is why they don't do any research. They don't look anything up. They just take the word of somebody. Like, I don't take the word of somebody. I literally go, "Hey, that's interesting. I wonder what the actual report says." And here's the what the report from last year said. And would you look at that? Hmm, it doesn't. How? Look at this. It's not as this one goes up. So Ubisoft last year were doing worse than they are this year. But this can't be true, even though the data. Again, this is put out by Ubisoft themselves. Ubisoft earner report. This is this is and people are like, oh, Tencent is trying to almost most of them. 10 cents is only on 25% of certain IP. That's it. That's all. Additional net booking up 30. Overall net booking up 20.3%. If you simply just read it, overall net bookings up 50%. Backlog net bookings up 50%. So they made 50% more this year in old games and stuff than they did last year. So everything went up. How do you look at all of the number that say everything went up and say they're trying to they're trying to spin it? I'm, this is not a spin. You can read the data. It's like this is why every time I look at stupid people like him, I'm like, why is the data not fitting what you're saying? It's because he don't want it to fit ways. He wants you to believe him, but when people call him out, he just like, well, no, no, this is like again. Also, you'll say so 3.3 million copies in the first days. Mind you, it's 32 because timing. Why? So basically, this is the data they had before 32 days, but it took longer coming because don't just get the data that day. It's gonna take a while to add it all up, so it could take another 2 days. So by the time you get the data in, 32 days already lapsed. So it showed 3.3 million. Goes to Yote, goes to Shishima, so so 5 million for months. 3.3 million. Okay. Oh, I did. That goes sixes. No, I didn't. Right. 66. This is 66%. 3.3 million in a month versus 5 million. That's 3.3 million is 66% of what Ghost of Tsushima made in 4 months. So how is this a flop? Because again, when you read people pages like this, you see they say, so you see what they're saying. Now they are here. He is attacking Samus. I'm like, where is it? This one. Are you seriously this stupid? Today, one of the highest selling, highest constantly selling gaming series is going to flop. But it's stupid stuff, bro. I'm like, Expedition 33 took. This is another. Expedition 33 took 6 months to sell 5 million. But they're saying that game's a hit, even though in the first one it didn't sell nearly as much as Ghost of Yote. But they cost about the same. Stellar Blade, which took over a year to sell 3 million copies, cost 550. It cost 50 million. Ghost of Yote cost 60 million. Stellar Blade is a hit, but it took 3 years to sell five. Uh, it took it took a year to sell over a year to sell 3 million. Ghost of Yote is a flop because it took month to sell 3.3 million. Something that's not adding up. And it's like one game sells more. And again, another person is proven right. The grifter, liar, he's fake. When you look at the data and look at what it's actually happened, it's not adding up to what they're. So, as I said, I said before on YouTube or one of my posts, the reason Ubisoft delayed this report from coming out, even Ubisoft froze their stock and everything, is because we see made 40% more than last year, and you have a net make more net more by 20%, you want to stop and have recheck those numbers because if somebody see they went up by 40%, okay, no matter what came out, this person was saying, uh, oh, the numbers are fake, they're lies, they're bliss and that. I'm like, the reason they do this stuff because if the company say we're selling more, we're doing more, here's our numbers, here's the data and stuff, they're gonna say, well, those numbers are fake. Obviously, they're fake because they won't put out data. They did put out the data. Clearly, those numbers are fake. It's only fake and fitting if it doesn't meet what they want to see. But if it does meet what they want to see, then it must be real. But I'm like, when Ghost of Yote, where is it? Look, he said Ghost of Yote is a flop, right? But again, 0.3 million. Ghost of on the Fisherman is a flop. He keeps saying the same thing. He is the one trying to spin something into what it is not. Look at the data and you look at the information, it doesn't add up to what it's saying. But when you look at people on his page and stuff, I forgot he had a new kid. I wanted stuff to play. You look at people on his page and stuff, they are believe what he said, but you have to look at the actual data versus what you're saying. How do you expect the game to fly when they just told you we earned 40% more gross and we're 20% more net last year? How are they going to go bankrupt? This is what people say. Misinformation get out faster than the facts. Because all of these people have the opportunity to look at it or look up what he's actually saying. You can find the reports and everything. You can look up again. I just type in Ubisoft earning report or Ubisoft reports for this year or that's all you need to type up. Look at it. All of this popped up. This is what pop up. Too hard to find. Type Ubisoft earning report. What you look at, it popped up right. Wasn't hard to find. Prove it unfound. So again, look at what it's saying and look up 39%. It's everything they say was unfounded, but he trying to spin it to say no, we was correct. But what you're saying is spinning, even though that's literally what I'm doing, because what I'm saying is actually what is actually happened. Because I know my viewers are not gonna actually look up the actual report. I'm showing you the actual report. I'm showing you the name of the report. You can look this up. This is what it said. I literally had people who say, "Well, you edited the page." I cannot edit a page unless I am the owner of the page. You could just hack the system. Again, I will have to go through. I will have to literally go through hack Google to put up a link. Then have to do all of this because if you leave it and come back, everything gonna go back to what it was before. I will have to go through hack all of this before pulling up. Then have to exit out and like I can press refresh and it's still the same. Like, look, I can't. I'm even gonna go on Reddit to show you. Here it is again. Same. It's the same thing. Let's go to news. See what put up. This is the earner report. Operation income concerning. Yeah, like I said, they're trying to cut the cost of operations, but they are making more cover the cost. They again, if they can invest that into making new games, they could take what they made and invest 10% to make new games, and the other 10% to pay off all they did. That's why the pension invested in them could also be used to pay off their debt. But at the same time, do they really need to? You were making if okay, pay off the debt early would be better than slowly accumulate. But if you're making enough to not only pay off the debt but pay off more, then basically the minimum amount, which is basically just to hold off, you're in a better position, which they can do. Now, why are they're firing people? Again, they're trying to cut overhead costs. A lot of times it could be the people bottom, but you don't really hear too many people at the bottom saying being upset about losing jobs because a lot of time, those job calls can be just temporary developers or people came in at the time just to work for that short time period. That could be a lot of the jobs. Sometimes it could be composers, voice actors, and so on. Like again, people still understand how it's possible. AC, which is Assassin's Creed, and it's funny how when you look at it, it's doing better. The haters are mad. Of course they are. Again, I'm showing you one of them. Actually, I show you two of them, but look at what the report says. What they are saying, it's not adding up. Made more money. The reason we delayed the report is because when we saw that our income and stuff went up, we wanted to delay the report and check the numbers again. That's reasonable. That makes sense. Because if I saw my company did a lot of the same things, if our total costs and everything year to year was saying we would be able to level out and we made 40% more, I'm like, huh? We didn't change anything. Our pricing and stuff haven't changed, but yet we made 40% more. Did we sell more? Yes. Oh, that's why. They sold more. They were trying to balance all the costs and stuff out, you know. Well, we had extra people come in, so that cost went out, but we balanced it out. We made more. We spent 19% more, but we made 20 more than that. We made 20% more over that. So we spent 19%, but we made 40% more. I mean, we have a net just spending that 19%. Mean we had a net profit just for doing that. For sure. Here and Q2 or quarter two. Well, it's not quarter two. That was year over year as well. Both these are year over year. This is not correct. Of 40%. Or oh no, okay, they're saying quarter two net book is up towards the. So basically, this is just the time period, but time period where last year. So both of them up year of year. Yeah, this is how you know they're bullshitters, grifters, liars, they're fakers. Because he's saying they're trying to spin it, but I'm looking at the actual earner report. How do you spin what the actual numbers say? Look at what people are saying. It's not a spin. You're the one trying to spin it. And I haven't been moved to make a video because uh, there not been many moves that came out that I was interested in making a video, and the moves that did came out, it was just one of them, and I didn't feel like making a video. But this lying stupidity really obsessed me because again, simply just report on the actual data, the data set, See, okay. I'm saying anything that going against the data. When you title your stuff bankrupt, Ubisoft nearly defaults, nearly defaults, which means they basically going under during the spend the same store. How is making 40% gross and 20% net a default? It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up to what is being shown. How is that default? How are you going bankrupt or anything when you're making 20% more, net more, and 40% gross more? How? What you're saying doesn't add up to what I'm seeing. Again, this soft numbers, this is the PD. Wait, where is it? This is the PDF of it. This is how I look in PDF form. So I look in on the site. It's the same two data points. So the same two. Let me put them together. These are the same two. Everything the same. How is this? How? Please explain how. One, showing near a 40% increase in overall numbers. Growth is up 40%. And that is up 20%. How are you getting these two things? Where is it spent? It's just the data. How is the data being spent? It's not being spent. How is it being spent? I can't right now. Just I'm flabbergasted how stupid people are believing his bullshit. You just look at the data, look at what the data said, and that's what you go off of. Overall, that overall calculated everything. And look at these are the net overall what they made. It's not the spent, it's just the data. And that's a lot of things people have to realize when somebody like this person makes stuff up. Because you can, and this is the messed up part. You can go in the comments and say, hey, look, Ubisoft earnings up 20 from this time last year. That's not going to happen anytime soon. You want to see the whole company go under, that's not happening. Ubisoft made 20% more since last year. Yeah, it's funny how you got everything wrong. Because, again, everything they say is wrong. Their earning went up by 40% last year. This is again um turn out they paused to double check their numbers because 40% of because of because of because 40% of a huge jump. Because it's a joy to watch Ubisoft crowds but care what to layoff. They earned 40%. Their earning report shows they made 40% more. Clearly didn't read it. Because it's frustrating. Go walk around. Like they made 40% more gross. They made 20% more net. How is it going to work abroad if they making more money? It's not adding up to the thing. So he tried to these two people right here. These are two people try to spin it to say what they don't like is a success. What they don't like is a flop, but what they do like is a success. Because they like Stellar Blade, which again took a year and over a year. Was it a year and was it a year and was it a year and 1 month, a year and 2 months? But it took over a year to sell 3 million copies. But that was a hit. But Ghost of Yote, which sold 3 million copies in a month, 3.3 million copies in around a month, is a flop. Like, if I saw again, the report showed their I'm supposed to say their earnings is up 20 is up 30 39% from this time last year. Go Woke make billions. Not, and this is some that not people. They're not saying 20% of their coming. They're saying 20% are certain products. That's the difference. It's just 20% of certain products versus 20% coming. It's not the same thing. You have to actually. You have. I've read the all the reports and stuff about what they're buying. They buy some games like Assassin's Creed, other games. That's what they're in buying or investing in. They're not investing in the whole company. Certain games. That's what they think are gonna make it. No, yes, 10% on certain things. Probably it could be 20. It's probably it could be 10% of the company, but it's not 10% of the company. You know, it's 10% of it's 25% of certain games they're getting their money back from. Uh, people, what's on paper is what you have to give to the government. Not real. They made it just basically, but they did. They made 20% more. They made 20% more net and made 40% growth. Again, when you read what they're saying in the comments, see that none of them actually did and research, and that's the problem. Do research, when look at stuff, look stuff up, it turned out not to be what they're saying. Now, let me get back on before. Yes, I didn't really feel like making any videos because the moves that came out over the past few weeks and so, I was not interested, or months now. I was not interested. There was a few of them that were, but it's just one at a time, and I was like, yeah, it's just one. I don't really feel like making. If there like there was previously there was multiple movies that was coming out that I was interested in, and I keep telling myself I need to finish watching them because I always start them, and then something come up. I have to go and take care of something, and don't finish watching them. But I'm going to finish watching them all because Wicked just came out, and I'm not gonna look at. I'm gonna make another video. Wicked just came out. I'm like, I don't like musical that much, so I was going to. I kept saying I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I just kept. And I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna watch it before Wicked 2 come out, and it came out. I'm like, I thought it come out next week, so my plan was to watch it this week, but then it came out last week. I'm like, okay, now I have to watch it because I kept saying, yes, I watched the old Wizard of Oz before many times when I was little, but now I grow up. I'm like, yeah, not really interested. I don't watch music. I watched the old Wizard of Oz, the Michael Jackson remake of Wizard of Oz. I watched all of those when I was little. Now I'm like, not really in the mood to sit down and watch them. But anyway, I'm going to have to watch it now because I told myself if I'll watch it before it come out, and I thought it would come out this week, so my plan was to watch it this week, but it came out last week. I'm like, okay, I gotta keep my word and watch it. So the movies that's been coming out, I'm gonna have to catch up and watch them because I watched other stuff and so on. But yeah, that's why I haven't been really making videos and stuff because I haven't been watching. Uh, certain movies and stuff that came out. And yeah, I'm really just tired of people making false claims. That's like it's painfully obvious when you look at the actual data from what they're saying to what is actually there. But anyway, later.